Okay, I didn't know I was supposed to be doing this, so
So it's really nice. So you were here last night,
yes.
and when did you arrive? Yesterday?
I arrived, what is it, 1:30 at Haddington and Tane station. I was waiting there for about an hour, 45 minutes, and asked the lady behind the till at the counter, and is there a, what is it, something in Fry or something, Bell Fry or something. It's a private bus company that takes me, but it's not a local bus company, so it won't stop at the bus stop. I thought, is there one about where it stops? Is it just in this car park, or is there another car park elsewhere that you can park? And it was just pointing me, it's out there, out in the car park. I didn't even look. It's just very small. But you can only have about 8 people in the car. But yeah, it's only 2 of us at the time. But I wasn't fussy.
Good.
But
well, what we're going to do today is we're just going to take a little bit of film, and you can tell us all about yourself, which is fantastic. Yeah. And don't worry, it's not going in hello or anything. Yeah. So what we do is, you can tell us just sort of anything you want to tell us about you, and as you say, about your lavender and everything.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself, Kevin.
Well, with me, I've always been known as having a smiler or grin on my face. Mm-hmm. Like when I was young, I was known as Giggly Gertie, because I was diagnosed with epilepsy with 18 months. I may have had it all my life. And I was diagnosed with tuberous sclerosis when I was 7. And or 8, but I think I've got a feeling I've got that from my mum, because mum had kidney stones and lost one kidney. Also, she has collapsed lung, which some people, ladies get with TS, have a collapsed lung. Some ladies do, but I'm not blaming mum for it. No, I never will, but there just seems some connection there. But nobody in the house or the family has got TS or epilepsy. It's just me, but I just live with it. You've got to like it or lump it. So I'm so laid back about my health. It doesn't bother me. Like with my seizures, if it happens, it happens. Mm-hmm. It's not very often that I hurt myself. But the last time I hurt myself was last year, about June time, where I was having a shower. I had a seizure, and I fell out the bath and whacked my head against the tile floor, and hurt my back as well. So I'd say I knocked some sense into myself, didn't I? But I wasn't well then, because I had a psychotic episode, I think it was, for about 5 days, where I just wasn't normal self for some reason, which I've had in the past, but not very often. I can't remember the last time I had a psychotic episode, but I just wasn't normal self. But remember, strange things going on, but it's just one of those things that happened. And also with the jerks, these jerks that I have, muscle jerks that I've got, used to be really bad. Like I used to have one every second for 7 or 8 hours. That would work out about 28,000 in that time. Used to whack me out. But now I've never been prescribed medication for them. Mm-hmm. And because back in 2008, when I went to Cheltenham St Peter Assessment Unit, they were classed as nominated muscle jerks. I thought they were myoclonic jerks, which a friend of mine called Steve, I think gets myoclonic jerks, which is a type of seizure, but you don't black out during it. Mm-hmm. And but last year I found out that the oils that are good for epilepsy, lavender, chamomile, yang yang and jasmine, seem to help the jerks sometimes, not all the time. But I only found that out by potluck. But that's some improvement, because last year they were stopping me doing household jobs and affecting my sleep, because I had to sleep. Sometimes I had to sleep during the day because I couldn't stop the jerks unless I laid down, say, so I had to sleep. But it's one of those things. But I'm always one. I've always been one that's soft-hearted. Like when I went to Great Ormond Street when I was 7, and asked my parents, like, what's wrong with that child? They'd tell me, I was in tears straight away. And they'd tell me what's wrong with another child, and I was in tears straight away. And even seeing, Children in Need, some of the stories in that that gets me upsetting.
And you've done some fundraising for us, I believe, haven't you?
Yes, I'm a keen walker, whatever the weather, because I was in the Cubs, Scouts, Ventures and Fellowship, all the scouting organisation for about 20 years.
Brilliant.
And did a lot of hill walking and dangerous sports, which I like doing. And but like fundraising once, I decided to do a 40-mile walk, and which is I was awake for 36 hours, and it's like I went to work. I was up at 7. I went to work, got home about 4 o'clock or whatever. Then at 6, we're out the door. We're travelling up to the Lake District, and we did a 40-mile walk. Started at 2 o'clock in the morning. Didn't finish it until like 5 or 7 in the afternoon or evening. So it took 13 or 15 hours, but it whacked me out. I didn't practice, I just went ahead and did it. But when I did it, like one time, I've done it about 4 or 5 times, something like that, the 40-mile walk. I fell asleep walking, and I was sleepwalking. And my friends, I'm not much of an alcohol drinker, but like when I do drink, I have a pint, but it usually takes me 2-3 hours to drink. So my parents always warned me of the dangers, mixing it out, you can't all your medication. So I've always been cautious. I don't smoke, but I've never had that. I've only tried it once, but I've never taken up smoking due to the dangers. But with my epilepsy, I've had so many more. I'd have more than 9 lives. The amount of times I've had accidents or nearly put myself at several risks. But I just laugh about it. But yeah, I'm a keen walker, whatever the weather, because I'm never cold. Like yesterday, I wasn't coming shorts, but as it was raining, I just bought these trousers. They're very thin. They dry very quickly. I find jeans that if you get too wet, they do keep you cold or cooler. But I'm one that gets hot very easily. I don't even wear jumpers in the winter, but I've always been hot, but I've always been very, very energetic. And doing the 40-mile walks, after doing them, because I was a keen walker, walking to work every day and back. When I went to work the following day, the few days, people used to go upstairs for me to the sales office or whatever, because I couldn't do it, because I was walking very slowly like Charlie Chaplin.
So where do you work, Kevin?
I'm looking for paid work, but I've got 3 volunteer jobs going. One as a treasurer of an epilepsy group, which is a part of the Epilepsy Action or the British Epilepsy Association, which is a branch in Harrow, which I've been the treasurer for since '98 and been going for over 20 years. And also, I'm a cashier at the Hospital of Francis, which I've been doing for about 9 years now, and doing that. And also, I help out a sports club for disabled people, where there's people there worse off than I am. I help to get the equipment out that we use, like the table tennis tables, snooker tables or pool tables, and play table tennis, badminton and other games. But I've always think myself lucky. As people out in this world, much worse than I have. Like, I know I've got friends with TS. They've got brothers or sisters or whatever in care home and need 24 hours care 7 days a week. So I've always been soft-hearted. And even I've going to when I went to the family weekends, when I used to help out as a volunteer. When I saw the children with their disabilities or whatever, I was in tears straight away, feeling sorry for them. But it's just the way I am. But then I said, what's this crying doing for them? It's doing nothing. And I stopped crying and helped out for the weekends.
Brilliant.
And
what about Outlook?
Outlook is great. Outlook, I've been coming since, 97, 98. So I've been coming for a fair time. But gradually got used to it. My parents at first dropped me off, or my dad did, because he's the one who drives to the house. So I lived with my parents. And took me to Milton Keynes and I think it's Birmingham somewhere, and maybe to another place I can't remember. And I've travelled with others that lived in London, met up on the train, like either at Watford Junction or Hempstead, say, and just travelled together. I mean, if one of us had a seizure, we all cared for each other. But just one of those things. Just everybody's there. You can all talk or whatever. If you're sharing a table for four or whatever, or there's more of you, you have to sit by themselves. But I'm not fussy who I sit with, and I'm very friendly. But like one of my TS friends, Andy Lane, he's a member, and when he first saw me, when I first came to the Outlook weekends, we were doing a game of Cluedo or something in a building, and he took me as a troublemaker for a year due to the grin or smile on my face, and apologised a year later. I said, you don't have to apologise, I was in hysterics. But when I was young, me always been one that smiles and giggling, but that's just me. I say it's down to the parents, it's that them with the manufacturing, they got the smiling wrong. But like, I'm even practically laughing my head off now. But me, when I was young, I've always been one that's giggling or whatever. But like I hit it in the top of the airing cupboard. How I got there? Because when I was young, I was very small. If I infant school, I was the smallest, or second smallest, until the last year of secondary school. So I went to a growth clinic at Great Elm Street. I wasn't expected to make them 5 foot, but then I shot up in my 20s. So I was saying to my parents, didn't get the manufacturing right, because children usually reach that adult height when they're 16 or 18, don't they? So, but with me, I was surprised. I'm a bit taller than Mum, but I'm still a bit shorter than my dad. That doesn't bother me. But surprised I shot up in my 20s. But
so you're looking forward to all the activities today? And
yeah,
nice
meeting the people,
everybody.
Meeting everybody, making new friends, and getting to know the new people, and recognise some from last year. And some recognise me, but I can't remember them. But I'm not good with faces and names, but I know it's trying to remember them all the time. Like you don't have a book to write all the names down of everybody or whatever. But I think they're great. What we got on, but with me, my health doesn't really bother me because I'm a keen walker, and like 10 times in 1 year, I had a seizure and I was found in the road 10 times. And so I like driving people up the wall, don't I? So but it's my way of laughing about it.
You've certainly got a sense of humour, Kevin,
yeah,
that's for sure.
Definitely, yeah. Well, it's like with the jerks I have, not so bad as they were, but like in December last year, they stopped me doing household jobs, like washing up and ironing and cleaning, say. But as the jerks got better, I'm able to do the household jobs. So I say it's slavery at home for me now to do the work. And also, I'm no longer a bad jerk at home, am I? So I'm doing the household jobs that have to be done. So I'm not fuzzy about that. That's a job that has to be done, etc. So I just always make a joke about my health. Brilliant. But it's my way of laughing. But I disagree with teasing and bullying because I had it at school. But that's why I only do it to myself. My way of not getting upset about my health and upset. So I did that stuff from depression with the jerks when they were really bad. Was one every second for 7 or 8 hours. But the jerks gradually got better. But I don't know what made them better. Has made them got better. But while they dropped from such a high amount. But it's just one of those things. I've had them for about 20 years, but I wonder whether my jerks are epileptic, because I found out the oils that are good for epilepsy seem to help them sometimes, and just found that out by potluck.
Excellent. Well, Kevin, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure, hasn't it, Rob? You know, and thank you for today. We've got loads of really fantastic information. Learned a lot about you. Yeah. Certainly that you can walk far.
Yeah, I'm a keen walker.
That is amazing.
I'm a fast walker as well. I have to slow down for friends and family.
I bet.
Yeah.
So shall I show you out now, and then you can go and join everybody else?
If you want to, I'm quite happy going out the door, but I'm not fussy about that.
I think they've just gone into Chris Kingswood.
Yeah.
Or they're going to go into there if you want to.
I think it's what's the room? I can't think what it's called now.
I'll take you
it's
out there
Linton
and show
or
you.
something. Or
thank you, that's brilliant.
Okay, that's all right.
And it's lovely for me, because I haven't met you before.
Yeah.
I think I might have spoke to you on email, but I haven't actually met you. So that's great.
Emails, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.